the ground. I got all the ground, Jack. Talking, cursing, just ignorant. Just ignorant, Jack. Just ignorant.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Not too much. How you doing, sir?
I'm alright, man.
Glad you made it. Glad you made it. Ronald Buford, Bill Roddy.
Good Roddy, bro.
That's Nevin Taylor.
What's your name?
Nevin Taylor.
Nice to meet you, bro.
You ever listen to KMOJ?
Oh, yeah.
To Day One, the show Day One. With Mother Toomazza here, that's his mother.
Oh, this is mother.
Toomazza here is his mom, and the other guy is his brother on that show, Anthony.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's wonderful. I'm glad for this base to start right here in this foundation. So I'm gonna turn it over to Chucky, and we'll go from there.
Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And let me start by saying I appreciate all of you guys coming today. It's a beautiful day out. There's definitely another place or something else you could have been doing right now. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I could go on and on saying that. The reason I think Chase asked me to come in today was to talk a little bit about my book. I recently wrote a book called Life is a Business. Manage it better so you'll enjoy it more. And I'm going to say that again. Life is a business. Manage it better so you'll enjoy it more. And the whole idea, or what I was trying to convey, the message I'm trying to convey in this book is just that life is a business, and every decision that we make is a business decision. And many of you young guys out there have aspirations to start your own business one day. And what I want you to realize is that you were born a business. And what I'm going to do is show you right now a couple of the similarities, the parallels to your life in running a business, and how it begins very early in your life. Your decision making begins long before you ever realize that's what you were doing. So when we were all born, our parents gave us a name. My name is Charles, there's Ronald, there's Nevin, and we were assigned shortly after that a 9-digit number. We call it a Social Security number. That number is used to track us financially throughout our lives. And for you guys that start a business, some of you may have already, you go to the Secretary of State, and what do? You choose a name for your business, right? And then what you do is you call the IRS, and they assign you this 9-digit number. It makes sense that this is a 9-digit number because it does the same thing for that business that your Social Security number does for you. It tracks that business financially. So if that isn't proof right there that you were born a business, I don't know what is. And what I mean when I say you were making business decisions very early in life, every one of you guys at some point in your life was handed $1. You may have been 3 years old, you may have been 5 years old, and you were forced right there to make a decision. What am I going to do with this $1? Am I going to go to the candy store, blow the whole $1 there? Am I going to save 50 cents and maybe spend 50 cents on candy? Or am I a real outgoing young person? Maybe you're 8 or 9 when this happens in your life and someone gives you $10. And you may decide that I want to flip that. I'm going to go buy some lemons, some sugar. I'm going to set up a lemonade stand, and I'm going to try to flip this money. So you are making business decisions very early in your life. And I, in this book, define a business decision as any decision that impacts your bottom line. Any decision that impacts you financially. And I would argue that that's 99.9% of the decisions you make have the ability to impact you financially. And let me just throw one out there. I'm just going to throw one out there. Children. And why I throw that one out there is because I'm 42 years old. And 2 weeks ago, my mother gave me $50. And she insisted that I take it. And I often hear people say, when my child turns 18, it's over. That child, that lady, or that girl is now a lady. That young man is now a man, and all my responsibilities are now waived. Well, I'm 42 years old, and my mother still feels like she's responsible for me. So when we go out here and make children in the world, it's not until they're 18. That is a decision that will impact us for the rest of our lives. Don't think for a minute that it's over when Hennepin County says you no longer have to pay. Because when they come to you at 25, 26, 42, and they're talking about, I need a little help, mom or dad, you're probably going to be expected and want to do something. So just be aware that the decisions that you are making right now, every day, every one that you make, drinking and driving, I often say that I don't know anyone that wakes up on January 1st and decides to put their budget together and says, I'm going to budget $7,000 to $10,000 for this DUI I'm going to get this year. Who does that? But there's many of us who are forced to deal with that. We are forced to figure out where the $7,000 to $10,000 and perhaps jail time and loss of time from work is going to come from. Because we made a what? We made a bad business decision. So in my book, I have 9 key principles. And what I'm going to do today is only expound on 3 of them. We're going to talk about one of them, vision, having a vision and a mission for your life. There's no presentation that I can give where I don't talk about that. I can talk about 2 of these things, 3 of these things, but key principle number 1 will always be talked about no matter what the others are talked about. The other principle I'm going to talk about, one of the other 2 principles I'm going to talk about, one is your brand. That each and every one of you in this room is a brand. When you step out into the world, you are representing yourself. And the question becomes, are you doing it in a way that positively impacts your bottom line, or a way that negatively impacts your bottom line? The last key principle I'm going to talk about is volunteering, philanthropy in the community. For many of us, that's a pretty new concept. It's not something that most of us have grown up in households, or it's not something most of us in our households that was talked about. It was done, but it's so very important, and that's why I'm talking about it with you guys today. So before